This horse was a new purchase for his owner. She did have a vet tech lunch him, and he reared for her. She bought him anyway, as she thought he might end up in a bad place if she didn't. I have two horses on this video.
Why are you hanging on to his face?
Because I'm terrified.
So I'm gonna just show you this horse in the beginning and talk a little bit while I'm working this horse instead of at the end to show a horse should follow a feel. This horse used to be super out of control, aggressive, got kicked out of multiple barns, rearing, pulling away. But this going back and forth, it's like the beginning of lunging, right? I look where I want him to go, put a little pressure, and release the pressure when the horse follows a feel, takes that direction, just tightening up his halter. But I just want to show you this and talk about the videos you're going to see because the horses are out of control, rearing, um, aggressive. The second black horse in this video was attacking people uh, when there was food in the stall, putting his butt to them, charging them. So just because I get a little annoyed at people saying how horrible I am working with these horses, shanking their face, throwing kicks at them, I'm just trying to keep myself safe and explain to the horse in a way he understands and to avoid getting hurt. I did not create these problems. I'm in there trying to fix them because I don't want them going to a bad place. This horse right here that I'm working with, in this video, the woman actually wanted to give him to the zoo and let the tigers eat him and rip him apart and eat him, okay? Because they like to feed live, I think. And she said it's a shame of horse flesh that they eat horses in France. And I'm like, well, this ain't France. This guy ended up going to a good home, thankfully. Feet awful close to my face. My first meeting him. So I'm going to try something different. Instead here, I'm going to go to the right. Before I hit him with the butt end, rubber butt end of that whip, I do motions 1, 2, before it makes connection right there. Again, this horse, I'm told, rears up. If you wiggle the rope, that means rear. He did not rear when I wiggled the rope there. You see, I took my energy down once he listened. If he doesn't listen, I use the rubber end to kick him in the chest with that. So it's something he understands, because all he understands is if a human asks me to do something I don't want to do. Here I postured to throw a kick at him. I'm just trying to get him to understand to get off of this rope and back up instead of go up. So when he goes up, I am correcting him on his face, making it uncomfortable for him to rear. I want to get rid of the dangerous behavior of rearing. At least when he was rearing here, he was rearing and going backwards instead of charging. The owner said he came at her when she asked him to back up or reared up. When she asked him to back up because she came and took a horsemanship lesson at my place. Since my first moments of working with this horse, he went to strike me. I am cognizant of how dangerous it is working with him. I also want to reward him when he's doing good and take my energy down. I always ask nice. Okay, right there I asked him to back up. and I had to follow through, and it didn't move him whatsoever. So I'm going to use the pointy end of the whip at his feet to get him to back up there. So he's just like, make me. Again, when he does what I want, I'll take my energy down. So energy up, correct, and exhale. And the owner had told me again, the wiggle the rope to him means rear. Look at this horse. As soon as I walked in front of him, he pinned his ears at me. You can replay that if you want to see it again.
Go around it? Yeah, to the right, to the right. Yeah. Try not to touch his body. Oh, nasty. And then go around this bucket back again. Why are you hanging onto his face?
Because I'm terrified.
You're terrified. All right. So, I don't even want to leave this guy because he's an asshole. Like that. Right? So, I want him to stay at this distance from me until I feel comfortable, because you're leading him and you're afraid of him. That makes me afraid of him.
Yeah.
How long have you owned him?
5 years.
5 years.
This is new though, to like this year. This
You're a
year.
lucky horse.
Yeah.
So we're going to lead him from a distance and say, don't even get near me, because I don't trust him. So we're going to walk ahead, and then we're going to turn and check. All right? Until he has a little bit of respect, we don't want to be close to him.
Right.
So this is how we can establish a little bit of respect. And when he tries to take off, you go for his hip.
Okay.
All right? But we got to build that in. We got to build that into him. So I'm going to do a lap here. And I don't want this rope to touch the ground, because that means he's getting too close to me. So I did extra because he pinned his ears at me when I shanked him, okay? 1, 2, sucks for you. If you see me coming like this, it means back the hell up. And then he goes, well, look at this. Look at this fancy shit I got.
Yeah.
See how I went at his hip? Because I can't hold 1,000 pounds. You ride this?
I put kids on him, like you wouldn't believe.
That's horse under saddle, Cat. You wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't believe it. I guess I believe it if you say it.
Here he's finally getting out of my way to the right. It took a lot to get that, and I had to start.
Person that can lunge this horse here,
Yeah. You have.
Yeah, you've lunged him.
Yeah.
can you lunge him in a walk for me?
Yeah. Can I grab?
Just walk. And then at a walk, can you change his direction? That's what I thought he was going to do. Because that's his bad way. That's most of their bad way. And he's more vulnerable of the whip on that direction. You know, so they're so used to going, and when you put them the other direction, they're not happy.
Even riding him because I ride he's more unbalanced.
I think his brain is unbalanced. Not that he's messed up.
No,
I mean,
he is.
but he will come back. But it's not that he physically can't do it. He don't want you on that side. He didn't even want me on the good side, turn him to the right. All right, just finish going his good way, so you can end on a good note with them.
And he, you know, Kathy, the biggest thing with him, and I know you've already got it pinned, is that, you know, he works on intimidation,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where he kind of gets Meg in a pinch where he
He'd get
really
me
needs
in
to-
a pinch.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Not allowed to do that. I'm not gonna stand out there and say whoa 10 times, all right? Because it has no meaning if he just goes, right? Good. Good. Walk on. I might say walk on. Good boy. I might say like easy or something like that, right? I only want to say that word when I can kind of make it happen. When I think I can make it happen. Good. Good boy. Walk on. So I'm going to ask him to halt. Hold and lift. Move. And then push him out. Good. Walk on. Because he doesn't stop well on the lunge. Hold and move. And push him out. So every time, if I push him out, he's going to quit coming in, unless I ask him to come in. Hold, walk on. Good. Oh, you're fine. Good boy. Hold and move. Good. Good boy. Walk on. That's a good boy. So I don't even want a PROT until I can walk, halt, change directions. Good, good boy. Walk on. The door is closed. Bump, bump, bang, bang, bang. Good. No, just walk. Good boy. I'm going to change the direction and interrupt that movement. Good. All his fancy shit that he does to intimidate is going to get corrected. Right? There's no reason for that. My whip's down. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for you to turn and face. Good. Walk on. I'm almost done here. I just want to show you how I would start to work on that other direction. Good. It's just interrupting that. I try to be as gentle as I can and not lash this whip because it's going to just jump up. Even if I have to just start it. Good, yeah. Because I can make him run off, but I want him to walk off. Good, that's the way. Good boy. And now I just want to change him before he gets up. You realize he doesn't have to do that. Good job, buddy. Good job. And the way to just change up this whole thing for him is if we set up obstacles and say, we're going to go over this pole, then we're going to change direction, go over that, and he's like, oh, I have somewhere to go, not go around stupid circles for what? Right?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Walk on. Good. And then it gives us something to look at, and him something to look at. Well, oh, we're going to go over here, and then we're going to change direction and go back over here. Good. Especially if you like kind of walk him over some of these things first, and then he goes, oh, we're just doing this pattern. Good. That's all. Good boy. Yeah, good job, honey. That's
This is a young horse that I worked with on turns to the right. This is a normal reaction of a horse just learning this.
he would be shaken, wanting to leave, exit stage right, stage left.
You're a stubborn fox. That's what you are.
He's just doing what he knows.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling him that's not the answer. Good. That's the answer, is just back up. Good boy. Good boy. Back. Good. Good job. That's good, Norma. Good. Just walk. Good boy, Cole. Oh, gaited. Good. No? See, I'm looking where I want him to go. I didn't wiggle no rope there. Good. Good boy.
This is a young horse that I worked with on turns to the right, and you can see a normal reaction would be
Good. Walk. Good boy. Giving him that rope so we don't slip. Good boy. Hold. Ooh. Come in. Hold. Walk on. Good. I'm sorry, how old?
13.
Hold and move. Good. Good boy. That's good, Norm. Good boy. Cole, walk on. Good boy. My head's turning left because we're going left. Good boy. When I want to halt, hold and roll. Good. If he comes into my space, push.
Yep, that's what he always does, and that's what it.
So that's the counter, and also when I went like this, okay, to move. If he didn't, I'm gonna pinch him in that neck. Good. So the counter, good. When the horse turns into you, he's gonna bring that foot back over here, is, and I'll pinch him there, is you stay on your own feet. Don't round me, don't turn around me and make me yield to your feet. Cole, walk on. So when you halt, to avoid that, if you lift, and then just, every time he comes in there, if you just say, stay there, he'll stop coming in.
Yeah.
Because when we pull on the halter to halt, that happens, all right? So that's why if we give him, he's used to, that neck off me. He's used to being held up tight
Yep.
and pulling back for halt, and that's why I lift. But again, he's still gonna wanna veer. And see, he just moved that foot
Yep.
away from me. Good boy.
this is a good exercise you can do with your horse. This is my horse. I'm looking where I want to go. My right hand is at my side. It's never under his neck. When I go down the end, I might lean back and wiggle that rope in my right hand to slow him, look over his wither, and then look where I came from. So I'm just going from point A to point B. So great exercise to do to see who the leader is in your herd of two. This is another young horse of mine. It's an old clip. It's probably 2 years old, turns to the left. And this is a baby horse being led on a visit to teach him to be halter broke. Even a baby can do it.